is going to hold the muscle still to reduce muscle fatigue, and there's a proprioceptive reaction from actually stimulating those dermatomes and those surface nerve endings on it.
Right.
But they don't really know how it works. What we've done is we've explored that concept and that technology, and we've actually magnified it and made it about 1,000,000 times more precise, right? So when I deduced that pattern on the bottom of the feet, and this is where 20 years of software came in handy, right? I wasn't really keen to share and give away, 6 years and $3 million of R&D. My wife would not have been happy about that. So I saw this, and I said, how do I protect this? And protecting it, and this is why, for those of us that are in the business, this is key to understand. How do you protect IP so that you don't have knockoff products? Right? So if you have a patent, somebody's going to rip it off. And then you got to go to court to defend it. Because it's civil. I said, I'm not going to do that. Because if Nike decides to take my technology, they have 600 lawyers. I got lawyers, but I only have 2. They're great, but that's not even a fight. Because they'll take you to court and you're bankrupt and you'll never get out of it. So I looked at the most powerful way to protect intellectual property, but success leaves clues. The most innovative company in terms of protecting IP and the most powerful company protecting their intellectual property is Disney. Okay? You don't mess with Disney. They'll sell everything you own. They'll get you. I know people that got caught. Right? They use copyright. Okay? So try to make a Mickey Mouse doll and sell it. You're going to get a letter. And they're going to sell your house. They can sell your car. They can sell everything you own because you can't infringe on Disney's copyright. And this is 75 years old. Mickey Mouse has been around a long time. Okay?
What's this patent? Copyright?
Copyright's pervasive. Alan Thicke's kid just learned the hard way. Remember that song, Blurred Lines?
Yep.
3 words that kind of sound the same. He made $7.5 million on a song. They took it all back.
Ooh,
Copyright
good.
infringement. So I knew I needed to do copyright, but the pattern, it's biological. There's a correlation. I can't own the science. I can only own the application. So I needed to put it in a format that I could protect in a unique pattern. So I encrypted that pattern underneath the digitized image of my fingerprint. So it's got biometric protection on it. Okay? That's what software taught me. Then I took that image and I copyrighted that image in 185 countries. So we have copyright protection, ID theft protection, and biometric encryption. That pattern is my fingerprint. Wow. To steal it, you got to steal my ID, because I can change my name, I can't change my fingerprint. And my ID is recognized in every jurisdiction in the world as me. Bulletproof IP. I don't need to disclose my development process. It's bulletproof. It's enforced by FBI, the Mounties in Canada, Interpol globally. So if somebody rips us off, I call the cops.
Oh.
I don't take him to court. I don't have to sue him. It's immediate cease and desist. And it's a $250,000 fine per infringement in the United States. Yeah. Remember watch those DVDs, the big FBI sign comes up? Right. Yeah, we've got the same protection. Right? So it's bulletproof IP. What I know is IP. I can protect my stuff real well. Because I'm not going to put all that money at risk. Yeah. Well, but they could, but there's consequences. I know people.
Oh, then there's that.
Then there's that. No, but what it does is it gives us that comfort that someone's not going to come up with a knockoff product, and the chances of re-engineering it are 1 in 9.5 trillion. Okay? Now, people use that number trillion a lot when talking about our national debt. Okay?
But it's a big number.
Let me tell you what this means. If I sit here and I give Greg $1 every second, it'll take me 11 days to get to $1 million. It'll take me 33 years to get to $1 billion. It'll take me 33,000 years to get to $1 trillion.
It's a huge number.
Good luck. I'm okay with those odds. Right? They're not figuring it out. And the great thing about copyright is it's enforced for as long as I'm alive and 75 years after my death. So we're good. Even if I don't wake up tomorrow, the business is good for 75 years. So I don't need to worry about patent infringement. I don't need to worry about refiling it or changing it. It's here. And that's what gives me so much confidence going to market saying, you know what, we're not interested. So licensing opportunities, I turned down Callaway. I turned down Under Armour. I turned down Lululemon. Why? They're not aligned with our mission. They might or might not use the technology in the way that I need them to use technology. They just might take it and shelf it. And guess what? I can't force them to do anything. Under Armour was the best. They're like, send us your development process, send us all your IP, send us everything. And I said, well, what about all the paperwork? We don't sign NDAs. And I was like, yeah, okay. But, you know, because they're in the habit of people so excited about working with Under Armour. You're just a company. You started out of your garage just like I did. And they have no IP. And they have an ugly shoe. It's terrible.
But they have really good little...
They just have branding.
Well, they have nice underwear, but so this is how ruthless the business world out there is. So Under Armour got into the shoe business. They pissed off Nike really bad. So Nike went to the University of Ohio because of LeBron, because of his connections in the Cleveland area, and they hired a doctor named Dr. Jeet Chaudhary, and I know Jeet really well. So last year, a study came out done by Ohio State that proves that compression wear doesn't do anything for performance. So this is Nike putting a knife into Under Armour's business. So you sell compression wear, it doesn't do anything. And they publicized it in every sporting good magazine in the industry. Right? This is how ruthless they are. They go for the jugular, right? They don't mess around. They're like, oh yeah, you come to the shoe business, we're going to take you out, we're going to prove that your stuff doesn't work. And that's exactly what they did. And Under Armour stock has never recovered. Ever.
Everyone's got compression wear.
But doesn't do anything.
Nike, Lululemon.
Sounds good.
But that's not their core business.
Yeah.
It's Under Armour's core business. Right? Because it's all marketing. This company got $1 billion thing for compression. It's cool. No one's validating it, right?
They got Bryce Harper to validate it.
Oh, whoops.
Scientists prove that it doesn't work, so I'll take a scientist's word over anything else, right? Because this is what happens. When you're a big brand, no one asks you to prove anything. Only the little guys ask to prove everything.
That's right. That's why where people are going, I do this test and that test.
Commercial.
90%.
Pay somebody.
90% of the drugs that are prescribed to us, they do not know the exact mechanism of action.
It's practice.
We don't know how Tylenol works. Are we clear?
Wait.
Doctors do not know how Tylenol works. 90% of the drugs in the PDR, we do not know how they work. It was 2 years ago that a brilliant kid at MIT finally figured out how penicillin works. 2 years ago. He went to the doctor, he was sick. The guy's brilliant, this kid, right? The doctor goes, here, take some amoxicillin, whatever, some derivative of penicillin. He goes, how does it work? He goes, he's giving you some, some BS answer, right? He goes, I don't understand. He said, tell me how it works, give me the code. He figured it out, how it actually breaks down the proteins from reforming again, and he actually proved how 100 years we've been using penicillin. They figured out 2 years ago how the exact mechanism. So this is what I'm saying.
Was it a good thing? Does it work?
Sure it works, right? Now we know why.
Right, now we know why. That's cool.
Was a side effect.
Viagra was a side effect, right?
Yeah.
So young startups who have revolutionary products, their products are always held to a higher standard. This is why we've invested, oh my God, how much money in the clinical studies and the testing to prove the data, right? Because no one's going to take my word for it. I'm a nice guy and I'm charming and I talk really well, but no one cares. They're like, where's your data, right? So there's one thing, is that you have to back up your credibility. The other thing is the FTC. The FTC will shut you down if you make claims you can't validate. I'm not interested in that. If I've spent $3 million in R&D, I should go spend another $1 million to validate what I've done. It only helps. This is when people say, oh, you can't make that claim. I go, oh yeah, I can. Here's the data, right? Everything's
on that data.
in the book here somewhere. It's that all of our studies are published in there. You can see what the data is. You can see the results. You can see everything. And we say to people, you want to test it? Go right ahead. Duplicate yourself. More data for me. You're just going to prove my case. Right? Everything's in here. So we talk about the theory of the science, what we did, how we did it, the results, the studies, the data, everything's in here. And we've got testimonies from doctors and chiropractors, and they're like, this is the real deal. But it takes time. right? Until you get those massive levers of influence of people that can reach and communicate millions of people at once. That's what today's social media allows us to do, and we'll get to that. But we never deviate from the science, right? Because if I have nothing, I have this, right? And then we have all of us who actually experience it, and it works.
Sure.
That's the real reference. I was like, you know what? It works, right? And that's our story, right? And there isn't anything in the world that competes with it, which is so refreshing. Imagine you were here and I was talking to you about, skincare or body transformation. It'd be a short meeting. It would be a short meeting, right? Because it's Me Too products.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Revolutionary.
Make something unique.